So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Ask Us Anything session at ISPP. I am Kuhu Chauhan and I manage admissions and outreach here at ISPP. Today's session is all about you, answering your most asked questions, clearing up your doubts, and giving you a closer look at the ISPP experience from both the admissions and the alumni perspective. Before we venture into that, let me begin by sharing a brief introduction to ISPP and what we stand for. The Indian School of Public Policy was established in October 2018 by a visionary council of senior academicians, policy experts, and philanthropists. Our mission is to democratize public policy making in India and foster inclusive and impactful governance. We began with our flagship 1 year full time PTM program in 2018, and during the COVID 19 pandemic, we proudly contributed to the government efforts through the COVID War Room. Since then, ISPP has evolved to include a 4 month Lokniti program for working professionals, a policy review magazine, case study center in collaboration with the Capacity Building Commission of India, and various executive education programs. Everything we do at ISPP is rooted in one principle: building ethical, empathetic policy professionals with a sense of purpose and to drive to make a difference. And today, I'm excited to introduce you to someone who's truly lived the ISPP journey, our alumnus from the class of 2024, Srija. Srija joined us from Andhra Pradesh and has been an active contributor to the ISPP community through her time here. She is a passionate public policy professional with a strong foundation in political science and diverse experience spanning think tanks and private sector companies like Jubilant. An alumna of the latest batch, she has conducted significant research on administrative reforms and governance, combining academic rigor with practical insights. After multiple attempts at the UPSC exam, she chose to pivot towards public policy, a decision reinforced by her enriching experience at the Indian School of Public Policy, where she explored various facets of policy making. This unique blend of research, industry exposure, and policy education equips Shrija to contribute meaningfully to the field of public policy and governance. Welcome, Shrija, for today's webinar.
Thank you, Kuku, for having me. It's great to be here at ISPB.
It's a pleasure. And Shrija, since you're here,
Yeah.
this is one of the questions that we are usually asked, that how would a day at ISPP would look like? And you who has lived the journey, ISPP journey, to the PTM program, you will be the best person to describe what was a day at ISPP for you, how were the classes structured,
Right.
what are the activities you participated in, how was everything while you were pursuing the PTM program?
Right. Just to start off, 1 year course, so it's definitely going to be very rigorous. That's something you have to be prepared for, first of all. And that's not me saying it lightly. But any day at ISPP is very different because obviously we'll have at least 2 to 3 courses per day, for example, each of 2 hours, and then there's like a half an hour break and then a 1 hour lunch break. So classes might go anywhere from 9 a.m. to 5:36, but that's all. But saying that, it's not just the classes also. You will also have labs. For example, the policy praxis lab, where you get to talk about policy problems, work on a policy statement, and figure out solutions. Work on solutions for a particular problem statement that you come up with, or the Antaran Leadership Lab, which is basically about leadership, networking, building your, you're basically just grouped in with a bunch of strangers and you're told you're a team for the rest of the year. And throughout the course of the year, in every semester, every term, you get to work on something different. Like one term is dedicated to just like leadership building, and one term is dedicated to networking. So that's something that you work on as the course go by. So while you're learning about game theory, business and government, politics or public policy, or different domains like urbanization, technology. So it's a mixture of everything. Added to that, a day at ISPP, I would say, is like every day is different. And for example, one day I'm learning about politics, the other day I'm learning about economics. The next day I'm learning about some public policy skill, like how to draft a policy brief, or how a research paper and stuff like that. So and obviously, like, each course gives you like assignments and some essay that you have to write, or some research project that you're working on. So, yeah, I'd like, I mean, this was a long answer to a short question, but I cannot like describe it in like a one sentence because it's all encompassing in a way. So,
Thank you, Shrija. I think we got an understanding how a rigorous grade IFPP looks like for the coming cohort. Thank you so much.
yeah.
And one of the most, I think, frequent questions that we get is what kind of career that they can pursue after ISPP. It's and it is a great question because policy careers are incredibly diverse.
Yes.
And and I would like to talk something of course, for everybody's benefit and for the coming cohort to, to be well informed. So at ISPP, like we simplify this with our Samaj, Sarkar and Bazaar model. That is the society, government and a market model. And let me take you through this framework. So your Samaj, the scholars, the current candidates would work with NGOs, civil societies, research organization and think tanks like Seva Bharat, ORF and Labhya Foundation to name a few. Therein, you would fit into roles like policy communication, research analysis, monitoring, evaluation and learning, program management, where you care, and the kind of roles that Samaj sector of public policy provides. It is basically perfect if you deeply care about community-based impact. So people who want to work at a grassroots level, want to engage with the community and citizen, I think Samaj is something that resonates with those scholars. Then we have Sarkar, that is the government. Here, scholars are usually working with ministries, government, PMUs, advisory bodies like Invest India, Niti Aayog, Mahua, and the roles they fit into are mostly research, policy implementation, and working on policy reforms alongside bureaucratic leadership. You are involved again in policy communication, as Shrija mentioned, in drafting of policy briefs. These are the kind of roles you will be doing when you are involved in the Sarkar part of the policy process. Then we have Bazaar, that is the market. Here, the work includes more of a CSR strategy, policy consultants, and government affairs with organizations like Godrej, FICCI, MSL. These roles are high exposure and strategy driven, kind of bridging a gap between public interest with private sector dynamics. And each of these sectors have a distinct pay range. The work environment is different, and the impact pathways are also different. And ISPP is uniquely placed to help you explore them all. So, when we talk about these three career pathways from a policy professional perspective, it would be Samaj, Sarkar, and Bazaar. And I think we have like a lot of scholars who have an inclination to work for the community to give something back to the society and more inclined towards the Samaj sector of the society, working with environmental organizations, climatic organizations, and I think to an extent with research organizations. And I think Shrija, who's here with us today, can talk more about it because she herself has worked with ORF.
Yeah.
And the next thing that I would like to touch base before I hand it over to Shrija, how ISPP actually support you in getting to these organizations across Samaj Sarkar Bazaar.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So, and I think Shrija would be a testament to this because she has actually lived that journey. So here at ISPP, we try to offer you an extensive career development journey. So your session starts from July end, and from September onwards, from the first week of September, you will have your one-on-one sessions with the careers team. Then, so that you are developing your profile side by side, you're doing the course. You have a better understanding of what kind of opportunities that would come your way, and we as an organization would have an understanding that what are your motivations and aspirations. We have multiple labs. Our professional development lab, the PDL lab, will build. It is something that will help you build your career toolkit. You'll be able to, we'll be giving you reviews on your CVs. We'll be conducting your mock interviews. We will be having industry sessions with the industry expert, our faculties, so that when you actually apply for a job or an internship, you're fully prepared. You will have full internship guidance and placement support from our training and placement cell. You will have unlimited mentoring to tailor your path, whether it's our training cell, whether it's our faculty. Everybody at ISPP is there to provide you that training which is required to be a successful policy practitioners. And without saying much, I think I should hand it over to Shrija, who can explain more about her journey was here at
Yeah.
ISPP in terms of training and placement.
Yeah.
To you, Shrija.
Yeah, thanks, Kuhu. To be absolutely honest, when I first came to ISPP, I came because I knew someone who studied here who told me highly about this place. And I was like, might as well go to a place that, someone has had a good experience at. So when I first joined, my knowledge of public policy was very limited to what I was doing with UPSC, right? So everyone wants to work in the government, be something in the government. And I was like, okay, this place is teaching you how to work there, and that's how I ended up coming to ISPP. But the few things that I've gotten from ISPP, for example, was one, I got to work with a company like Jubilant, which again was part of a immersive learning experience that ISPP provides, which is basically you can do an internship remotely while you're taking your course as well. That is something that these people come to ISPP and they're like, there are some students that we'd like to take on for a project. And I worked on a project with Jubilant, which was like a 3-month worth project. At the end of the day, I could write a white paper on. Again, I did not know what a white paper was before I came to ISPP. I learned what it was and I could use it during my internship and submit my final project for them, which again was something that I did not know I could do before I came to ISPP. And that was one big thing, and which I got to work with Jubilant. Jubilant is somewhere where there's Zomato, no, Domino's that
Dominoes.
is yeah, Domino's that is a part of it. So yeah, that's one part of it. And the other thing that I got to do was work on a report, an administrative reforms report. And thankfully, it was one of our professors, Professor O.P. Agarwal. He was heading this report, and I was honored to be able to work alongside him. And throughout that report process, the 4 months that I was an intern, a research intern for this report, I got to meet with people like the CEO of Niti Aayog, various people who worked in the government, in the private sectors, in think tanks. We could find all of their perspective on what could be done to get these reforms done in the administration. So that was something that I got to do also because of ISPP. And to speak about my placement after ISPP was also because there was the placement cell worked tirelessly to get these institutions to come to us, and ORF was one of them. And after multiple interviews, I got the offer to join ORF. And so, yeah, I worked at ORF in their operations and management team. And I got to work in their immediate core team, which was with the CEO, the head of different departments, and people like that. So I got to not only use what I learned at ISPP in terms of the research, the theory of change that we learned here, that they use in some of their programs, that I got to contribute what I could to the organization. So that's again, this was also not something that happened overnight, right? These were like multiple conversations that I had with the placement team where they and I could figure out what I wanted and which field I wanted to get into. Have multiple one-on-one interviews throughout the course where I'm like, oh, this is my field of interest. These are the companies I'd like to work with. So, they helped me tailor my CV so I could apply to the companies that I felt like, aligned with my interests and my career goals. So ORF was also very much possible because of ISPP, and that's something that I always will give credit to. So, if I hope that answers your question.
I think Shrija, you answered the question very beautifully. And I have a request to the viewers. If you have any questions, you can please put it in the chat box so that we can answer any further questions that you have for us. And second to that, another top concern that we hear is, where will I live if I move to Delhi? ISPP has a diverse cohort, and we take immense pride to say that we have scholars coming from different parts of the country to be a public policy practitioner with ISPP. And with that, yes, a lot of scholars have a bit of hesitation that we are moving to Delhi, where will we stay? And relocating, we understand that relocating to a new city can feel a little daunting. And that is why we have curated a list of PGs and hostels vetted by our scholars and alumni, which are both safe and affordable. And to all the offer holders, to all the applicants who have shown interest in ISPP, we have already shared that list. If anybody from the viewers wanted to understand, if they think they want to have the list, you can always reach out. We'll share the list, and you can reach out to particular hostels and PGs, and I'm sure that your concern would be taken care of. Many of our current scholars, including Shrija, who's from Andhra Pradesh, have found accommodations that suit their comfort and budget needs. And I think Shrija here also, I think I'll invite you again to
Yeah.
how you managed your move and what helped you settle in. Because
Yeah.
coming to a city from a far away state, away from
Yeah.
your home, you look for a place that is comfy, cozy, of course, and safe, right?
Yes. So as you know, I come from Andhra Pradesh, and obviously, as someone, a woman especially, moving alone far away was very hard for my parents because the only reason they let me stay at this place was because one, it was recommended by the college, so they knew like it was trustworthy, and two, there was a program where we did not have to pay security deposit, so that helped me financially as well, and the rent was affordable. It was all inclusive too, and third was that a couple of students from my batch also stayed there, so that was also gave my parents a sense of security that she will not be alone. There are people who stay there, and also a couple of our alumni who were from my previous batches also stay there, and a professor used to stay there, so it just felt like a safe place. It's like 15 minutes away from college, so that helped me with like commute as well. And so this is something, if you would like to consider, I'd be more than happy to help out. If you could reach out to me also, I'd be happy to talk you through that process, and since I still live there, I could help you if you ever move there as well. So there's that. Just saying that irrespective of where I am living or this accommodation that I'm talking about, there are also PGs available in and around campus. So there are PGs that you could find, say, in Green Park or Hoskas or Saket. And if that is something that you'd like to explore, there are students who stay there and we could connect you to them too. So
Yeah.
accommodation will not be an issue if that's something you're worried about. Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's something that I think you very correctly mentioned, that Shrija, being a female, child of the family, you're coming, and there are so many inhibitions, and when they send their child away to study. Having said that, if anybody from the viewers also wants to understand, if they are finding difficult to find an accommodation or a residential facility, they can reach out to us. We'll share the list of all those PGs and hostel where our scholars, alumni have already stayed. Shrija is staying in one of them, so you can meet Shrija
Yeah.
also there. So we'll share those lists, and if you want to connect, we'll share. You can reach out to me as well, and I'll share the LinkedIn profiles of our scholars and alumni, and you can connect with them, have an understanding how it would be for them. Moving on, if please, again, I'm saying it to our viewership. If you have any questions, any further questions, please put up in the chat box so that we can take it up for you. Having said that, there are few things which I think when somebody is coming for a public policy course, a slight bit of preparation is required from their end as well, which our faculty, and leadership has reiterated many times. With that in mind, I would like to again, reiterate the fact that we would be starting our bridge course from 7th of July, and we'll be sharing the details very soon for that.
If I
And
could add something about the
please,
bridge course.
yeah,
Yeah, so when I was a student, right, I was also given the opportunity to join the bridge courses. There are like two advantages of that. One, you get a head start on what courses you'll be taught. So you know what to look forward to anticipate. That gives you like a little clarity. And two, you get to meet your classmates beforehand. So
yeah.
there's that sense of ki, there's someone I recognize. So when you meet them in person, also that's you already are familiar. So that's another thing. And third, one of the bridge courses was game theory. And I was someone who, it was very difficult for me. So the bridge course kind of helped me prepare beforehand before I got to class. So I got a head start on it. So that's something I think everyone who's joining the course should definitely, use. I think it's important. Yeah. Sorry for disturbing you.
Then I'll just add on to that. Yes,
Yeah.
the major portion that we cover in the bridge course are the fundamentals of, as Shrija said, statistics, economics, introduction to game theory, and introduction to public policy. So we try to clear those fundamentals for you. So when you join the PTM course, you'll have a comfortable start with the PTM course. So that is why that we always encourage that please join the bridge course, be a part of the bridge course that would help you clear your fundamentals. And to all the enrolled PTM applicants, I would request, we have sent you a very, very beautiful book, In the Service of Republic. We are soon going to do a session on that. So I would request you, if you've not already started reading it, there are a few chapters that you should read. We'll share those chapters as well. And our Dean, Dr. Parth Shah, will soon do a session for all of you, wherein you can ask your questions, and he will also be able to understand whether you have read the book or not.
Yeah.
And with all honesty, that book would give you an insight into public policy and what to expect, and it would be a great head start for you guys in public policy.
Hint, hint, there will be a course that you will use the book in. So please keep that book handy.
Okay. So we have a question from an anonymous attendee here. How exactly public policy works practically from designing to executing in following branches: government, NGO, academics, and corporate? Okay. Shrija, would you like to take on that question?
Yeah, I mean, public policy involves all of these branches working together, mostly, right? For example, if you are a consultant with a private firm, this private firm will have a project from the government that you'll be working on. So that's something that always is curated, and you're always like coming up with a solution, you're giving ideas, seeing how this idea can solve a certain problem that somebody else has. I don't know if that is the question you're asking, but I think it's all connected. And designing comes with a problem statement. For example, if this is a problem, then how are you going to solve that? So I think everything is interlinked and each of it has its own facets. Yeah.
And the next follow-up question is how financing the research I'm so sorry, financing the research, implementing the project, expenses, etc. All these are executed in all four categories. So I think, Shrija, with the research from a research perspective point of view, because you extensively work in that area, if you could just shed some light on that part.
I think once you have like a research project, you reach out to the stakeholders, and the financing obviously comes from various different sources. Some of it comes with the problem. So people are like, oh, this is a problem I want to solve. This is the money I have that I can put in it. Other times when other people feel like, oh, this is an important topic, the funding will come in itself. So that's something that's, again, it happens on the go. And each project, each problem has its own ways of getting funding and the way it's done. And I think I see another question. How many semesters will be there in duration of semesters? Do you want me to take that, or who will you be doing it?
Please go ahead. You're the best person to take that.
Okay, so obviously there are 4 semesters of 10 weeks each. The 5th semester is...
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah, the 5th semester is where you'll be doing your internship or independent study, right? So 4 semesters of 10 weeks each of different courses. Each semester has its own set of courses that you will get to know once you join. They'll tell you which term has what courses, and so that will go on. And after each course, obviously, each course will either have like a submission of an assignment or an exam. Depends on the professor and the course requirement. And the final semester is of 8 weeks, where each of you will be working at an organization, an internship basically, for 2 months. So you won't be in campus, you will be full-time working, doing your internship. But at the end of that internship, you will be expected to submit an internship report, which you'll be graded on again, which will be your final submission at ISPP. So, yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Shrija. Thank you for taking that. And if we have any more questions, I would request again the viewers to please put up their questions in Q&A box so that we can further take all these questions for you. That said, we would be starting the session 28th of July. We would be starting our bridge course from 7th of July, which would be online. And towards the end of this month, we would be doing a session with our Dean, Dr. Parth Shah, regarding the book In the Service of Republic, which would give you great insight into the public policy field. Also, I would like to say, for all the people who are joining us on 28th of July, we will be doing a documentation on 27th. So, and the admissions team would be sharing you a list of documents. Kindly be prepared with that list of documents, which you will be which which you would be needing to present on 27th. And we'll be sharing that list, and we hope to see you at ISPP, the current cohort. We are excited to meet you, and I'm sure you must be excited to be at ISPP. It would be a great learning experience. I think it is a really transformative journey, which I have myself. I am on the other side of the table, but yes, it has been a transformative journey for me. And from all the scholars, that alumni that I have interacted, and Shrija being a testament to it, who's here with us today,
Yes.
that it is truly a transformative journey. Shrija, anything that you have to say about it?
No, I just like to welcome all of you to ISPP. It'll be definitely a year to remember. You will, the best part is the people that I went through the course with are people who are in various different sectors, government, organizations, private organizations. Just to have that network of people as well is something that will really add value to your life. So, and again, the biggest USP I tell to everyone I meet, the professors. So there are people who are gonna still stay in touch with you post you leaving ISPP as well, and that's something you shouldn't take lightly. So welcome aboard. I'll be very happy to see you guys at ISPP at some point, and yeah, wish you all the best, and hope you're ready for this journey that ISPP is gonna take you on. So yeah,
Thank you, Shrija.
thank you.
And
Yeah.
yes, I would request our viewership. You want to talk to our faculty, you want to talk to current scholars and our alumni, you can always reach out to all of us on LinkedIn. We are all very active. Our faculty is there to help you, guide you, and support you. We are very proud of our strong alumni network who is always there for ISPP, and so ISPP is also there for them. And of course, our current scholars, we are all available over the LinkedIn also. You can reach out to all of us. And if you have any further questions, I think most of the people by now know me very well. You can reach out directly to me. You can reach out to admissions team. You can reach out to anybody at ISPP, and we are there to support you. With that note, I would say I would bid goodbye and good evening to all of the people who attended today's webinar, took out some time, and be there for this session. Thank you. Good night.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Kuhu. Bye, everyone.